Yes, time. In war and price rise, where the Aam Aadmi gets to address their grievances to a concerned government official.
Well, today we are going to Kolkata, where Forward Bloc Rajya Sabha MP Barun Mukherjee fields questions on what the government is doing to control price rise.
Rise in prices of almost all food items you consume has touched a record high. And what's worse, there are no indications of an immediate respite. Decision makers of this country haven't provided us convincing answers so far. And as promised, CNN IBN is taking your voices to those who are calling the shots. Joining us on the show today, Barun Mukherjee, Forward Bloc MP at the Rajya Sabha. I'll start the discussion with you, Srila, first. You've been managing your household budget. Tell me, how bad has it been in the past few months?
Regarding my household budget, I can say with the food price, inflation has blown a huge hole in it. And I'm very, very upset. I mean, specifically about dal, sugar, oil prices, I can mention that specifically. And what bothers me is, the attitude of the politicians and the policy makers. They are not looking perhaps at the root, at the agrarian reform, and trying to sort of do patchwork. It's like a child fails an exam and you give him a chocolate. Nothing has been done so far as agricultural reform is concerned. We need another green revolution.
Right, patchwork won't help. Mr. Mukherjee, I would come to you. Why haven't you been able to control price rise in Bengal? Is there a bad governance in Bengal?
No. The situation is not an isolated affair. It's a national impact over it. And the major policy being framed by the government of India, everything flows from that. Time and again we have warned that the government must take action against against forward trading, against hoarders and profiteers. But there is no concern.
But what does your party, what is it thinking in terms of controlling price rise in Bengal, say for instance?
Right at the moment, the government of West Bengal is trying to purchase at some minimum support price the potatoes from the farmers, so that their interest may be safeguarded, but it is confined in a limited area.
Right. Professor Roy Choudhury, I would ask you to explain to us the economics behind this inflation.
Demand-supply mismatch. Possible way out, two things are there. One is a short term, which the government does, and they are doing it now. Late, but they are doing it now. They are importing things and try to, manage the supply-demand mismatch. But the long term, as already been said, you need a green revolution again. Very clearly so.
Tanmay Chatterjee, you've been following the left for quite some time now. Is the left in Bengal serious about controlling price rise of essential food items, or do you think for them it is just another political issue to take on the center?
No, in Bengal they are serious about controlling prices, because that directly affects the vote bank. And politically the CPIM and its partners could have steered a campaign, sustained campaign. But for the various reasons, they have not been able to do so.
Barun Mukherjee, I would want you to respond to that.
One basic thing that time and again on the part of the left were asking the government of India to stop forward trading in food grains, but with no effect.
This, I think, when he spoke again about futures trading and hoarding and black marketing, for us it's a political gimmick. It's a tool that they use for mudslinging between the center and the state. Specifically, what has Bengal done, I'd like to ask, because as a housewife, I was very bothered with the price rise so far as dal was concerned. It's 100 rupees a kg now.
The Marxists who had burned Trump cars in the 60s because prices of the fare had gone up by paisa. And a year ago, when they threatened to pull down a government because they were signing a treaty with the US, it's a very poor show on their part.
I would take a few questions from the audience. Yeah.
The hoarding has greatly contributed to price rise. Why has the government failed to stop hoarding?
Don't you think we need, more stringent laws to curb inflation?
Law is necessary so far this hoarding and black marketing is concerned, and even so far the forward trading is concerned.
Why at the state level? Why hasn't the left front government been able to move a legislation?
I tell you that is from the practical experience that in isolation one state cannot do it. Throughout the whole country there may be an isolated area where everything will be all right. And if in the national level or in the rest of the country,
the efforts can at least show at the
efforts are being made.
Assembly House.
Efforts are being made, as I told you earlier.
So that's all we have time for at this moment. Keep logging on to ibnlive.com and do put in your suggestions at our window, War on Price Rise.